Hello, Grand Risings, you groovy gang. How are we? Please do let me know that you can hear me okay. Can you see me? I think the last time I went live, I was black for a little while. So, can you guys see me? Can you hear me? Can you feel the vibrations coming from me? Please do let me know that you can hear me. Let me know which platform you're watching me on as well. If you're on YouTube, please do let me know. If you are watching me on Facebook, Faceache, as I like to call it, I'm just checking that Facebook isn't open. In fact, I'm just going to close down the other YouTube windows because I don't want to start getting any, feedback or anything like that. So who's on YouTube? Who's on Facebook? How has your week been? Well, actually, it's been a couple of weeks since I was live with you, right? God, it's been the wildest time. I don't know about for you guys, but my life has literally been turned upside down, shaken around, and it's like, Lucy Emma Davis, we are going to just create so much for you. Hello. Hi, Cliff. It's been a long time. Thank you. My t-shirt is quite appropriate. If you didn't watch the video yesterday, I did a video on all around karmic cleansing, really stepping up, basically, I can't even remember what it was called. Something, God's in there somewhere. God is watching and listening always, I think is what it was, or God's listening always. I don't know, something like that. If you haven't watched that yet, please do go and watch it. The feedback from that live it wasn't even a live, it was a video. I can't even speak and I'm telling you guys fibs already and I've only just got on. The video that I actually recorded it over the weekend when I was away in Manchester, and this information was channeling through me like an absolute train. And in all honesty, post the video, I felt it was a little bit full on. I felt it was a little bit close to the mark. I felt that there would be a lot of people being triggered, and by all accounts, you will come back to me saying, oh my goodness, Lucy, this is the best video yet. Now, I know you guys are a little bit cheeky and you tell me that every bloody video I do is the best one that I do yet, but there has been two recently where the feedback has been absolutely phenomenal, and this is one of them. So ladies and gents, if you haven't gone and exactly Joe, if you haven't gone and watched that, please do go and watch that. There's some language in there, there's some messages in there that I don't normally say out loud, but I am being guided currently to give a few different perspectives. The Lucy Davis that was even just 2 weeks ago is no longer the Lucy Davis that is in front of you. I have been through such a huge transformational shift, guys. Honestly, book number 3 is going to be the best book yet. And before you ask, no, book number 2 has not been written yet. It is going to be absolutely a whopper. The book number 3 is going to be a whopper. So for any of you watching and any of you that are a part of it, please do know that you are in this with me. Link in arms all the way. Just a quick point. I saw somebody's comment a minute ago, so I just want to go back through the comments. So Joe Barlow has put, your initials are LED. Yes, my initials are LED. My parents knew from the get-go. Obviously, I chose my name. They don't know that, but I chose my name, Lucy Emma Davis. Lucy means the bringer of light. So, and LED is obviously a lot of what the light bulbs are today. So it's fascinating that from every single angle of my life, it is, of my name, it is that I am the light. And I want to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable with you here. There's been, like I say, there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on over the last few weeks. And in all honesty, there have been times where I have questioned who I am. So I want to I'm saying this so that you guys get a little bit of sanity if you're questioning yourself. Now, this is me. I am a spiritual mentor to thousands of people. And there have been times I have sat there and I have gone, Lucy, really, is this you? Is it like, what are you? Who are you? And very quickly I've gone, no, hang on a minute. No, this is the noise. This is the ego. This is other things. This is external sources that are trying to hold you back, and they're trying to put you down, and they're trying to allow the darkness in. Honestly, put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, is this really the real me? Okay, I need you guys to get the memo on this, because there are a lot of people that are trying to manipulate you right now. There are a lot of people who are making up stories about you. There are a lot of people that are coming to the surface because of this word here, karma. It's all about karma that we're stepping through right now. So I know some the bill, and I'm sure it was for some of you, but in all honesty, exactly as Belinda has said, everybody needs to be triggered right now. It is literally like boom, 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 and it is triggering you to get your healing up and in alignment. Now, I've got more than 100 of you watching this video right now. Can you all please go and hit the thumbs up button on YouTube? I don't know how many are on YouTube and how many are on Facebook, but please can you all hit the thumbs up button on YouTube? Because basically what they will do then is share it out with everybody else, and say, hey, Lucy Davis is live. And because I got banned a couple of weeks ago, you know, naughty, naughty Lucy, because I got banned, basically they will be hiding me, and they will be, you know, keeping me on the naughty step for a little bit longer. So it's extremely interesting. So what was the other thing that I was just about to say? It came in and it's gone off because I got distracted. Anyway, talking about skipping book number 2. So who is that? Mary has put, skip book number 2. You do not want me to skip number 2. Genuinely, you do not want me to skip book number 2. Book number 2 is going to connect so many dots for you from the first one. You know, so the first book is like, well, the feedback that I've been getting in the last week is absolutely off the charts. You know, it is, Lucy, I cannot believe this happened. Like, I'm chomping at the bit for the second book. The second book is going to connect all of the dots. The second book is going to go to the end of COVID. It's actually going to go to September 2022. And then in the third book starts in September 2022. And I can't say to you the wild behaviors that have happened literally just since September last year. And I'm looking at, obviously it's May the 22nd today, all the 2s are there. The wild behavior that has taken place since September 2020 are going to be so shocked, so stunned, so blown away when book number 3 arrives. So if Rick Aaron is watching this, don't panic, my little darling. Don't you panic, my little love. We're taking our time. We're going to do the advertising and the marketing on book number 1 first, I promise you. But the other books are lining up because people are asking for them. So yes, I am human, and I am a human. This is the thing. A lot of people seem to think that because I'm a spiritual mentor, you know, that I shouldn't tell people to fuck off. There's, you know, they think that, you know, I should be uber clean and all the rest of it. No, I'm allowed to say get stuffed. I'm allowed to put boundaries in place. I'm allowed to get angry if I want, because do you know what? By verbalizing it and putting it out there, we're not internalizing it. And as we all know, what does internalizing emotions do, ladies and gents? So I'm going to check the comments to see who is actually going to answer this. La, 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 la. Have you written book 2 already? Book 2 is in writing currently. It is in writing currently. Yeah, I know. Rick has gone in hiding. So what do emotions do? If you hold on to emotions internally, what does it do? It makes you ill. Julie, you're absolutely right. Dis-ease, Ingrid. You're absolutely banging. Bang in. Bang on, maybe even. So we have to make sure that we are clearing this. We are not going to be living in that space anymore, ladies and gents. And that's why I wanted to talk about the topic that I'm going to be talking about today, which is, why won't my loved ones listen? Like, I'm pulling my hair out. Why won't my loved ones listen to me? But before we go there, there's a couple of other things that I'd like to talk about. And you know me, I like a little chin wag with you guys before I get into the throes of things. And it's going to be a biggie today. So Self-Love Club. A lot of you have been messaging me, Lucy, have I missed the start of Self-Love Club? No, you haven't. It starts on the 1st of June. We are doing the launch call on the 31st of May this year. I don't know why. I changed it. There will be a damn good reason why I had to move it to the 31st of May, but it's on the 31st of May. So I am going to be doing that. You know, I'm going to be doing it on the 31st of May. So if you haven't already, go over to the description field on any of my YouTube videos, in the bio of my Instagram or anything like that, click on the link that says Self-Love Club membership, and you can sign up free to join us on the launch call. At the launch call, I will explain everything you need to know. Now, this program is not a quick fix. This program is we're going to rewire your whole life, and we're going to do it beautifully and authentically, and you're probably going to hate me for a while, but I'm okay with that. I should just have arrows pointing to my chest today, shouldn't I? This is why, you know, so it's a very, very, very important. Oh, thanks, Claire. Everybody, please go and hit the thumbs up on the YouTube video. I know you want to watch it, but please do remember to do it afterwards if not. But please, 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 please do make sure that you are putting the thumbs up on that video. Anyway, so Jason, who is just finishing the program, it's our last call this evening, has just put, it's bloody hard work, but well worth it. Now, if you are on my Instagram, go check out my stories on Instagram. You will have a whole array of people that have given feedback from this year. There's loads more, but I just got impatient and I was like, no, I'm popping them through my stories today. So please do go and check that out. Like I say, you do not need to pay anything to come to the launch call. You will find out all of the costs, everything associated with that on the call. Now, it's changing a little bit for the next year. So please do, if you think, oh, I can't afford it or whatever, please do come along. We have many people that are coming on for free this year. We're currently going through the process at the moment. Morwenna is letting, we've basically put it into no questions and yeses. So we're going out to everybody, letting them know whether they've been successful or not into the next stage. By the time that launch call takes place, everybody that is going on free will know. We're also discussing energy exchanges with some people. All of the applications for energy exchanges in the free places stopped on the 17th and 18th of May, or I can't remember which one it was, maybe the 17th of May. So please, please, please do not put in any more applications for that. We have so many. Morwenna told me today how many we had, and I was absolutely shocked. Like literally, I was like, I only mentioned it once and we got all of those people. And she was like, yep, there's a lot of people that need your help, Lucy. So it's beautiful. So what I want to say about my t-shirt, because everybody keeps talking about it, I want a baby pink one like this. Because this is more of a winter t-shirt, which is why I've got it in England, because it is cold over here compared to being back in Spain. I'd like a baby pink one, or like a little peach one, or something like that, or like something really nice and bright and summery. It's I just I love t-shirts that give messages. Like sometimes I've got one with love written across it, and sometimes you can just put on a t-shirt, you don't even need to speak it, people just know the message behind it. And for me, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And right now, this is what's going on for you all. All of you are being met with your karma, every single one of you. Now, the other thing that I just looked at the clock as I was saying that, and it was 12:22. Of course, ladies and gents. So the other thing that I would like to talk about is Charlie. Now, I know some of you love him and some of you hate him, and really, yeah, a yellow one would be lovely. I love Charlie. Charlie has looked after me over the years, and I don't mean like anything other than if I need some help and I ask for it, he will always give it to me. So I was supposed to be speaking at his event on Saturday just gone, and on Friday I'd been to the gym, I'd had a really, really, really good workout, and I was sat down having breakfast with a friend, and the next thing I know, the venue called me. I don't know why, but the venue called me and started having discussions around the event being cancelled. And I was like, oh, this is really quite fascinating. So I obviously had to speak to Charlie's assistant, and then all these different things started taking place. And, some people didn't know at the time, but Charlie wasn't very well, actually. He'd had a bit of a funny turn on the Wednesday, and people had been saying, oh my God, he needs to get to hospital, blah, 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 whilst he was doing a video. And he had traveled on the Thursday and he hadn't been particularly well, so all behind closed doors we knew that Charlie was going to hospital on Friday. And actually all of this stuff taking place was divine alignment and divine timing. And actually, there's certain people out there that we owe a lot of thanks to, because the event could have gone ahead obviously without Charlie, but people probably would have been a little bit annoyed if Charlie hadn't turned up to his own event. So it saved a lot of people a lot of hassle. Charlie probably would have wanted to leave hospital before getting himself sorted fully and understanding and appreciating everything that was going on. There was a lot of people that would have been traveling to Manchester. I think a lot of people were just stopped before they traveled. Obviously I was already in the UK because I was doing other stuff, and I've been doing mad all over Europe on the way back to England, so like I was already gone, so it was no skin off my nose And you guys know I love being back in the UK to catch up with friends and stuff. And I've had the best time since I've been here, and I've done some really cool energy work. So, you know, for me personally, it was an opportunity for me to get to Manchester, spend some time with my team and, you know, lots of other people, my colleagues, my friends, you know, all of that good stuff. So I guess the reason I wanted to bring this up today is I'd just like everybody to just keep Charlie in their thoughts and in their heart. He's going to be taking a couple of weeks off now, which is really good for him. And you know, things are going to be quieting down from his side for a little while, but we do just need to give a bit of love to him. You know, whatever your opinion is, we're humans at the end of the day, and we should be looking after each other. I've had a couple of really tragic pieces of information literally land in my lap today of people dying and stuff like that, and you know, these are people that aren't very old. So let's just, you know, come back into our heart and just remind ourselves that we are all the same. You know, I know that there's some darkness out there, and I know there's some people that are, you know, projecting that they're the light and stuff, but we shouldn't be discriminating right now. What we need to be doing is joining together and saying, right, you know, anybody of the light, let's help them. You know, anybody that wants to come to the light, let's help them. This shouldn't be a judgment thing. You know, we're all going through these processes. Like I say, it's been the wildest 3-4 weeks of my life, the last 3 or 4 weeks. I cannot even say to you the things that have gone on, the questions that I've had to ask of myself. You know, losing the baby 4 or 5 weeks ago now was the most treacherous thing that I've had to live through. And you know, people will say, hang on, Lucy, you've had many miscarriages in the past, but this was treacherous. You know, I'd seen a couple of scans. You know, the doctor had said that everything was okay, and it just crucified me. It absolutely crucified me that I was living this experience. But now I can look at it from a different side, and I know that I'm being protected. I know that the timing wasn't quite right. I know that there is, you know, a few things that I need to be doing before that I embark on that journey again. Thank you, Claire. Like, I'm not saying this for sympathy or empathy or anything like that. I'm just, you know, I'm just being really honest with you. I was in the depths of despair when that took place. Like, literally, I was scrambling for my sanity. I was scrambling for just anything to hold on to. And, you know, there were certain circumstances which made me like not be able to deal with it even more. So what was quite fascinating is I had to sink or swim. Like, literally, I had to sink or swim. And this is the challenge that we're all being faced with right now. So it's time for us to step into our own power. It's time for us to say, no, you know what, like, I am going to, you know, take some time for me. I am going to rise up. I am going to get through this. This is all going to be making sense one day. And here I am 5 weeks down the line. And don't get me wrong, like, when the baby was supposed to be here, I am going to be devastated. Like, I absolutely devastated because I saw it. But I've been talking to him, and I know why he came in, and I know why he didn't actually come in. So I'm feeling much better for it. I'm feeling that actually that was something that had to take place in my life. God knows why I sign up for this shit, but it is. And I feel, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the healing. I appreciate all of that stuff. I appreciate the love that you're giving me. And I love the fact that you guys are proud of me. You know, I had to disappear to deal with this. I had to go offline. I had to shut myself away, you know. And if you notice, like, I was so grateful for that, that when YouTube banned me, I am so freaking grateful that YouTube banned me that week, because that was the week when I could not stop crying. Like, I couldn't stop crying. Thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate all of your love and all of your support. And, you know, I never anticipated saying this tonight. It just came out of my mouth. So we must remember that people are going through things that you just don't know about. Like, genuinely, so many of us are going through things and you just don't know what they're going through. Like, I never profess to know what somebody's got going on behind closed doors. So I am kind. Everybody deserves my kindness, and every single person deserves to be treated with love. So if we all, every single one of us watching this video now, all 120 of us, please, if we can all give that and just love and just treat every circumstance with love, especially when people are being assholes to us, you know, like, especially when people are being nasty to us, like, let's give them love, because my goodness, they need it. again, I was speaking to a guy earlier today, and he was talking to me about a girl that he knows. And I was just like, oh my God, that's so tragic. And I said, look, I'm just going to send love. And he was like, she needs it, Luce. Like, she needs it. She needs the love. She needs the love from the mother. Now, it's very important that we all recognize this, ladies and gents. I know, and actually this is leading nicely into the topic that I want to speak about today, which is around fixing people. You know, what we have to recognize, if I had come out the day that I lost the baby and I was like, oh my God, I've had a miscarriage and this, that, and the other, all of you would have tried to fix me. All of you would have been offering me solutions and have you tried this and have you done that? And maybe you need to do this and take this drink, take this supplement. Everybody would have had their pieces to contribute on it. Because we are a bunch of fixers, like we're all the healers. We're all, the healers are taking over right now. The healers are taking back the planet. So of course, what does that mean? We're a bunch of fixers. So when I'm talking about this evening, I want you guys to recognize and remember that I'm not being horrible to you when I'm going to nip a few things in the bud and I'm going to raise the consciousness on a few things. It's very, very, very important that we actually start to recognize I am a fixer. I own it. I want to fix anything. Like, I am the person that if somebody comes to me, I'm like, right, here's a solution. This is what we need to do. Like, let's get it done. But sometimes people don't need fixing. Like, I didn't need fixing. I just needed people to hold space for me and love on me from afar and just allow me to cry and get angry and stamp my feet and roll around on the floor and have a little hissy fit if I needed to without doing it publicly. That's how I needed to go through my process. Now, there are people that want to go out there and be like, this has happened instantly. Like, I need to, oh, Denise, definitely. You got to have hugs when you're going through something. Like, I need a lot of hugs. I missed my girlfriends so much when I was going through that. Genuinely, I was like, I need my mom. I need my girls. Thankfully, I've got like 4 girls in Spain that are literally my soul sisters from another mister. Like, they are absolutely amazing. And they held space for me and they owned it and they let me cry and snot and just get angry and do everything that I needed to do. So between the 4 of them, you know who you are. I love you so much, and I can never ever repay you for what you did for me during those few weeks. Now, comment in the chat box if you are a self-confessed fixer. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your mum, sweetheart. Oh my God, we always need our mums. I am so grateful that my mum is still on this planet. I really am so grateful. She is my world. I'm actually at my mum's house at the moment. She is my world. She drives me potty, but I love her so much. Is fixing part of being a control freak? It's part of what I'm going to talk about tonight. For me personally, I think a fixer is controlling. Yes. Yeah. Well done. You're a self-confessed fixer. Look at you all go. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You're like, yep. Fixer over here, fixer over here, fixer over here. Now, naturally, we are fixers because we are the healers, like I say. I'm not saying that you have to be all sweet-mouthed. Julie, I saw it. I saw you saying I'm a foul-mouthed warrior. Trust me, babe, so am I. I keep being told off for my potty mouth. I keep being told, Lucy, it's not endearing if you swear. I'm like, oh, my love. That's me, it's just the way that I am, like, genuinely. Now, Patsy, it's funny that you say that you need a 12-step program, right? Because I actually feel that this is what we need to do. We need to come together now. Now, please remember what I said. It is beautiful that you want to help fix people. It is beautiful that you love people enough that you want to hold space for them and help them change. Like, it's a really, really, really beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing. We all love so hard that we truly believe that everybody deserves what we've got. Now, I know for me, I'm like, I love myself so much. Like, I literally love myself so much that I want everybody else to feel the same. When one of my girls calls me up or one of my friends or my family and they're like really in self-sabotage mode, I'm like, oh my God, I want you to feel like me. I want you to feel as good as I feel. Like, I'm not good all 99 or 100% of the time, but I'm good like 95% of the time. So I want them to feel that. I love it. I'm happy to walk around naked. I love my body. I am happy in my skin. I love myself, even my flaws. I love the fact I love the fact I drop it like it's hot. Now, is it fair for me to believe that just because I feel good in my skin and I feel good living in Spain and eating all the good fruits and vegetables and going to Muay Thai and creating programs for people and healing, running all of these amazing events and traveling around the world and doing all this stuff. Is it fair for me then to believe that everybody else wants exactly the same? Is it fair for me to think that everybody, because I fast twice a year and I literally put myself through it, that everybody else should be doing the same? I had a real dilemma last Friday. I was like, I just want to keep juicing, but I physically couldn't because I didn't have a juicer and things like that. So it's a very interesting dynamic. Now, people always throw in the kids here. You are not here to fix your kids. You're not here to fix anybody. You are here to work on yourself, so you love yourself enough that everybody else mirrors it back to you. Because I am happy doing the way and living the way that I live doesn't mean that Sue is going to enjoy living in Lucy's skin. She might do for a week, maybe even 2 weeks, maybe even a month. But let me be honest, Sue is not me. So Sue is never going to align to everything that I align to. You guys know I'm an early bird. I love getting up at the crack of dawn. I love watching the sunrise. I love being in the gym by like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I love it. I love going for runs. Now, Sue might think it would be quite fun to come and live with me for a week and, go on that bit of a health kick or whatever. One of my team was, she comes to stay with me for 2 days and she was like, oh, I've bought a juicer and I've done this and I've done that. Because she was living in Lucy land. She was living in Lucy land. I never tell people what they have to do unless you're on one of my programs and then I guide you. Like, you don't have to do it, but the fact that you're on my program, chances are you want to do what is being asked of you. I would never say to somebody, hey, Lizzie, go and juice every day. I would never say that. What I would do is I'd be like, hey, Lizzie, why don't you come and stay in Spain with me for a couple of weeks or a week or whatever? And by natural default, she'll watch me and she'll see the way that I'm juicing. She'll see the way that I'm living my life. And the bits that resonate with her and her beautiful, sweet soul, she will absolutely go and mirror that. Lizzie's like, okay, I'm booking my flight. Where do I go? I'm not even there yet, babe. So, I'm not even there yet. Yes, please. Can you all go and hit the thumbs up button? Please hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube video so that YouTube will share this video outward. Now, ladies and gents, here is where the triggering starts. But you know that you're going to get triggered by me. So it's all good in the hood, right? Being a fixer is a really beautiful thing. It's a really, really, really beautiful thing. It means that you want to help. It means you want to help humanity. It means that you're putting yourself out there and you're really, really keen to just serve people. Normally at the detriment of yourself, by the way. However, it is actually an emotional trauma response. Now, what tends to happen when we become fixers? Yeah, live cam. Oh my God, come on, guys. One of my team said it to me. She was like, you do realize you could just stream everything and people could literally just watch you, a bit like the Truman Show. And I was like, no, because I probably would break through the scenery, wouldn't I? I'd be like, yep, okay, so it's real. What we're living is a complete illusion. I couldn't live like that, but it would be funny. It would make a great bloody series, wouldn't it? Can you imagine me dropping it like it's hot? You see me, in the car driving, in my kitchen cooking my food. At least then I wouldn't have to do the bloody recipe book, would I? All of you guys have been hounding me for that goddamn recipe book. It will come eventually, I promise. I absolutely promise. Yes, I need to get a t-shirt that says trigger. That's what I need. I love that. So let's just remember that this is an emotional trauma response. We want to fix things. We want to be helpful to people because we didn't get help. Normally, we want to help people to distract from our own stuff as well. It's extremely important that we recognize this. More often than not, We are judging people by the way that we live. We are judging people and we are trying to fix people to put them in our box. Ladies and gents, we're not all supposed to be in the box. We're not all supposed to be in the box together. We are supposed to be recognizing who you are, who we are, and then coming back into alignment and just sharing that. Like I say, it's taken years. I remember saying to my mum in her kitchen in September or October 2015. I remember I was sat downstairs in her kitchen here, and I said to her, "Mum, I'm going to create this brand, and it's all going to be about self love." And she went, "Selfish, isn't it?" And now she is the one that says you should take some time off. Lucy, you need to take a little bit of, you need to do this and you need to do that. Like, she's now gone into the fixer role around self-love, but also she takes time out for herself. And this was, aren't you being selfish? And that's because she has witnessed me live it. She has witnessed me live and breathe it. She's come to, she came to Soul School here in Bournemouth when I did it here, and she was blown away by what I do. And she always used to say to me, "You need to go back to corporate, Lucy, because the thing is you're never going to earn the money that you used to earn in corporate working for yourself." How's that shaping? Like, it's important. It's important that we embody what we're looking to do. Now, that said, ladies and gents, I often want to fix people. Trust me, I have this thing inside me. I'm like, come to mama, let me hold you into my bosom and just let me just fix you. However, that's my ego. That's my emotional trauma responses because I wasn't heard as a child. That's the trauma that I have lived in to continually attempt to put things right. So, ladies and gents, I want you to ask yourself this question every single time you attempt to fix something. In fact, let me take a step back. When you are speaking to somebody or when somebody is unloading on you, say to them, "Would you like me to listen to respond, or would you just like me to listen? Would you like me to listen to give advice, or do you just want me to listen?" This statement here, this one liner, has saved so many relationships. It's ridiculous. I cannot say to you, just by asking that, "Would you like me to give you advice, or just listen? And I'm going to hold space for you and I'm going to love on you." We are attempting to control everything at the moment. And this is why this here is so prevalent right now. We have to let people go through their journeys. We have to let people, step through what they need to step through. I actually had a conversation just yesterday, and it was something along the lines of, "Why are you trying to control the situation?" "No, I'm not. I'm not. I just care about this person." "Yeah, but you're projecting your own views." And actually, we don't need to do that, because who says driving around the M25 is better than driving through central London? Like, I would rather drive the M25, but some people would rather go drive straight through central London. Like, who says it's the right thing to do? Who says you should have children in your 20s? Who says you can't have them in your 40s? Like, who makes the rules up? For me personally, me having a child in my 20s, that would have, me having a child in my 40s is going to be divinely timed. And I know she's coming. Like, I know she's coming. It's going to be divinely timed. It's going to be divinely placed. It's going to be divinely orchestrated. Now, somebody else will be like, "Wow, you're way too old to have a child in your 40s. Wow, Claire, I need to make you a bloody moderator, mate. I need to get you on the payroll. She's brilliant." She's like, "Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like." Right, I'm not going to speak for 2 seconds. Everybody drop off, go and hit the like button and come back. I'm not going to speak for 2 seconds, all right? Go do it. So, ladies and gents, we have to ask ourselves the question. We have to ask ourselves the question: who tells us that our way is the best way? Who? Me, I do. So what's that? That's the ego. The ego. The ego is looking for validation. The ego is looking to drive things. The ego wants you to be the same. It wants you to be the same because then it makes me feel safe. We're not supposed to be here being the same. We're supposed to be here standing up in our true sovereignty. We are supposed to be in such a beautiful, beautiful space of love that it doesn't matter what other people are doing. That said, you do not need to put up with people's shit. You don't. This is where we bring in our standards. I had my daughter at 40. It was perfect for me, divine timing. I totally agree with you, Patricia. Very recently, somebody has said to me, you pissed away your 20s and 30s. And I was like, it's a matter of opinion. I had the best time during my 20s and 30s. I made a career, so now I can support a child. I don't need to scrabble around for money. Like I can support a child. God forbid I can do it on my own if I need to. So for me personally, I didn't need to do it back then. If I needed to do it back then, I would have done it back then. It's very, very, very interesting that people project their stuff on you constantly, even just in a normal conversation. Like I'm projecting a whole heap of shit right now, right? I am. I am so excited to be living the life that I am living. I am happy the way that I am. I am really enjoying life, every single element of it, the good, the bad, and the freaking ugly. you know, and the freaking ugly. I'm looking at it and I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, absolutely, Claire. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. What I'm saying is you got to make your own choices. You have to do that. My first pregnancy, I was only 21 and I felt like such a child. Like I only lost my virginity at 16. And I was a really, really, really young child up to the age of 16. And then as soon as my parents split up, I grew up and I just aged about 5 years overnight. And I had my first pregnancy at 21 and I just couldn't. I was such a baby in myself, and I'm so grateful. Like I would have a 23-year-old child now. I know, and it was a girl. I would have a 23-year-old girl now. And as much as I would love to have a 23-year-old girl, like I wouldn't be able to do the things that I've done with my life. I wouldn't have been able to travel and create the career that I had, and I don't regret any of that. I had to go in the belly of the beast. I had to sacrifice my health. Like for me personally, it was it was divinely timed, it was divinely placed. Everything that I had to step through was just magical because now I get it. Now I appreciate it. Now I can love so freely. Back then I didn't love. Like, really interesting the fact that I'm doing this video here when the father, or what would have been the father of my child at 21, literally lives just down the road. Like literally lives just down the road. It's so fascinating. So it's fascinating that I'm processing this and releasing some of the karmic ties between him and I, so that we can step through together. Although we're very separate and we don't have anything to do with each other. Like I haven't spoken to him in years. I bumped into him on a flight to Dubai about 3 years ago, and I was like, what on earth? 4 years ago, I was like, what are the chances? How many flights a day go to Dubai? And literally me and him were on the same flight. It's beautiful how we get to heal and how to cleanse and how to step through all of this. So just stepping back, why do we feel our way is the best way? Because we are projecting. And this is an emotional trauma response. Well, this makes me happy, so it's going to make you happy. It won't. I'm not going to go and call for him, Lizzie. Behave. He's married with children. He doesn't need me knocking his door, mate. Exactly. I had to come back here to just release this once and for all. And my womb is in such a beautiful space. I'm back ovulating already. It's really exciting. I'm working with these beautiful herbs and these teas and stuff to really boost the fertility. You guys know I'm going to be doing lots of videos on this shortly. I'm going to do a proper video around the miscarriage, but I just haven't been ready to do it yet. And I know I've mentioned it today, but I'm strong enough. I'm strong enough to do it now. As you know, like a couple of weeks ago, I was, I was teary and I still was processing, and, like it's always going to be a big thing, like the one at 21. I remember so clearly. So, anyway, so we're projecting when we want to fix people, we're projecting our own stuff. Yeah, we are basically projecting, I feel good like this, so you've got to feel good like this too. Now, thank you guys. Thank you. I will take my time. Honestly, I'm funny like that these days. I never used to be. I used to put a brave smile on my face and just, get on with it. But now I'm like, no, I'm not ready. Or all of a sudden, if I'm ready, that's it. You'll hear me talk about it, which is why I am today. I love you girls too. She is back, isn't she? She's back like big time. I don't know what's happened to me in the last week, but I've got my codes back, guys. I'm going to talk about this on Conscious Conversations this evening, but I've got my codes back. I have gone on a magical, magical, magical journey since leaving Spain last Monday. You guys know I couldn't do all of the lives and the videos and everything like that because I was traveling, and I have been on a really magical journey, and I'm going to share it on Conscious Conversations tonight. But it's the journey that I have traveled, I've picked up all of the codes that belong to me from many, many, many lifetimes ago. So it's really fascinating. I feel completely embodied in those codes as well. It's bizarre. I never believed it. I was like, no, they're not mine. No, they're not mine. And now all of a sudden now I'm like, okay, they're mine. I have to just own it. I have to like surrender to this thing and just, it's because it's cringeworthy to me. I know some people are very comfortable with this stuff. I'm not. I'm Lucy Davis this lifetime. I'm here to like clear karma. I'm here to get shit done, like just let me be. Anyway, I'm going off on a bloody tangent as always. So yes, Conscious Conversations tonight is going to be super exciting. So what we must recognize, Lucy, I haven't watched your videos in years, but tonight I tuned in. You're still as genuine and as beautiful, but you're activated and shining. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate you so much, babe. I really, really do. And I love the fact that you've been booting everyone up the butt to do this. And yes, I am looking younger. That's what happens. I have got the zest for life back. I've got pizzazz in my body. I have got a spring in my step, and I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about things. I'm ready to just be now. I feel really, really, really comfortable in my skin. And I thank you, Claire. I appreciate it. And I trust all of you to speak the truth. Like I do. I like it when you guys go, I'm triggered, or I didn't like it when you said that. I like it because this is the whole point. It's not just the Lucy Davis show, although it kind of is because it's my YouTube channel, but it needs to be a two-way thing, even though I can't speak to you guys, but I can kind of because you're in the chat box. Anyway, I'm waffling again as always. So let's look at the areas that we're trying to control. Let's look at where we are looking to project our own belief systems on other people, because we have to recognize right now that this is not what is going to happen. Would you still call trying to fix your child projecting, as it's sort of our job at one point? I know info about natural health that others don't. So if they ask, I tell them. Right. So personally, if somebody comes to me and says, Lucy, I have a question, blah, 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 I will ask them questions for them to get the answer. That's the way that I work. That's the way that I work with absolutely everything, just so you guys know. I don't believe in just telling somebody unless, it's something that I channel and it's very important for them. And like when I do one-to-one sessions with people, I channel and I give them all sorts of information. Of course, I'm not going to make them guess what I've got at that point. However, with regards to a child, and this is a really great question, and so many people say to me, it's only because you haven't got a child, but I have been around children, bringing children up, just so you know. I'm not going to go into details about that, but many children I've been around bringing them up, and I am me, but with boundaries with kids. That's it. I let kids follow me. Now, all kids, when they spend time with me, and any of my friends that have kids that watch this, they will comment and they will say, this is absolutely true. All I need to do is be loving and kind and supportive, and the children will mirror me. Likewise, if one of the children are a little shit, I will absolutely nip it in the bud and let them know. I will go to their level and I will have that conversation with them. I have really good boundaries. Like I have really good boundaries. It doesn't matter if it's a grown man or a little girl. Like I have good boundaries with everybody. And we are there to guide children. We are there to shine the light for children. We are there to literally lay the bricks so that they can follow, or the stones so that they can follow us. It's very important. However, we are not here to project our beliefs. And this is what I was saying about this thing. I can't say the word. Please don't write the word down. God, let's not get me banned again. For me personally, if I had a child that was like, that's what I'm going to do, I would sit down with them and ask them to explain every reason why they felt they needed to do it. I would not say, don't do this, don't do that, push this, push that, because, like somebody said earlier, you will rebel. I swear to you, like, I swear to you that if somebody tells me not to do it, I do it with bells on, and I do it doubly hard, and I get somebody to take videos and photos to prove that I've freaking done it, to prove a point. So I would go in, I would live my life constantly so that there is a consciousness that when something comes from a space of fear, we look at it differently. We don't just naturally jump into it. We don't just naturally knee jerk. And the reason people knee jerk is because you knee jerk as a parent. So this is about you behaving and giving it enough time so they can mirror you back. Most of you guys are too impatient. Oh, I've been living the dream. I've been standing in my truth for the last week and my kids are still misbehaving. No. So important. We have to understand where each other's coming from. You might look at me and be like, why on earth is she doing that? But if you sat me down and said to me, Lucy, can you explain to me the process in which you've like reached this result or this whatever? I'd explain it to you and you'd be like, ah, anyone that's ever worked with me from a client perspective, my team, whatever, they know that I have such a different perspective on everybody. Like, I literally have such a different perspective. And that's why when people come to me, they're like, oh my God, I have completely missed the memo, because we are so entrenched in the emotional bonding that we've got, the karma that we've got together, all of these different ailments, that it's very, very difficult to see the wood through the trees. I really do appreciate, by the way, that it's very difficult with your own children because you love and you are so engrossed and you're so invested. It's your child, you have to keep them safe, but it's very important that we do let them fall over. It really is important that we do let them put mud in their mouth so that they can process all of the different bacteria and things like that. I can imagine it does feel bipolar, working on yourself and parenting at the same time. It must be a real sensory overload. And I can't even begin to imagine. And I'm so grateful that I've done most of the work on me before I decide to bring a little Lucy in, because just imagine what she's going to be like. Literally, she's not going to sit still. She's going to be off flying around the world as soon as she possibly can. She's going to be channeling. She's going to be, Mum, have you thought about this? Mum, have you thought about that? Because literally, that's just me in a vessel. My niece was never given boundaries. She's run wild with all her life, drugs and alcohol. She's nearly 50 and it's hard to watch, but it's her life journey. Oh my gosh. So, addiction is very, very dear to my heart. I'm going to do a video on addiction over coming weeks because it's so dear to my heart, ladies and gents. Like, it is just such a prevalent part of my life and part of my story. So with anybody like that, what I do, and as I'm speaking this, it's got 144 people watching this, and I really hope that you guys go and hit the like button afterwards and smash the love heart or thumbs up or whatever on Facebook. So for me personally, when it comes to addiction, I ask questions like, what is it that you're running from? Because it's a sabotage. It's a sabotage. We're looking to sabotage ourselves. We are looking to distract ourselves from what's going on. And again, that's the subject that I'm talking about today, is us projecting and wanting to fix. It's exactly the same with addiction. Remind that person what he or she, I can't remember if it's I think you said it was a girl, remind her what it is that she has got to live here for. Like, remind her. Because in her distorted mind, and this is what happens when you take drugs for a long period of time and when you become addicted, this is very important to help them see. So as you guys know, my sister was addicted to drugs since I was very young. And so I've been on a really, really intense recovery journey with her. And it was talking about memories of how she viewed childhood and how I viewed childhood. We both had exactly the same childhood, but we had a completely different outlook on it. And on a number of occasions, she'd say to me, oh my God, I'd completely forgotten about that. I'm so grateful that you told me about that. So we started to just shift her mindset. There's another thing that people are addicted to at the moment, and I just want to remind you of what that is, and that is very much being addicted to having a label, having a label. You don't have to have a label on anything these days. Like, trust that you are being guided. It's very important that we lean into how we are feeling. It's very important that we lean into where we're going on our path. And again, when you've got an addict in the family like I had, and obviously like the lady that commented a moment ago has, we're very engrossed in trying to fix. Yes, Deborah, you're absolutely right. Fitness can be a type of addiction. Not all of it. If you go to the gym a couple of times a week, 3 times a week, it's probably not an addiction. But if you're like me, many people would say, Lucy, you're addicted to fitness. Very, I don't feel that I am, and I certainly don't feel it's a dangerous addiction. But when I used to drink alcohol every day, or when I used to take recreational drugs 5 days of the week, like for me, that it was an addiction. And addictions don't always need to be they don't need to be bad. I was talking about this very recently, and it's habits. We've got habits. If people don't get their rituals done in the morning by a certain time, they have a bit of a meltdown. Oh my god, I've let myself down. It doesn't need to be like that. Miguel, I actually don't know what your point is. I know you've commented a couple of times about if I'm a doctor. First and foremost, I'm not talking about anything from a doctor perspective, so I'm not sure why that's of any interest to you. So if this is triggering you, this conversation, please just leave. Simple as that. Very, very easy to do. So what we need to be doing here is just recognizing our issues, okay? Just recognizing our issues, recognizing a bit like that comment that's just been posted. I need to know this. I need to know this. You don't need to know anything. Like, you've turned up to my YouTube channel. Go and do some research on me if you want to know who I am. Very, very important. You know, I'm talking about a subject that's dear to my heart. Why do I need to be a doctor? Why do I need to be anything? It's a free world. You can talk about what you want to talk about. So what we need to be recognizing here is that there is no judgment. If you are a fixer, if you are somebody that constantly wants to, hang on. Sorry, I've just blocked that guy. I've literally just blocked him. You know what? Oh, Miguel, jog on, mate. I don't need to, literally, I'm not dealing with it anymore. I'm just not dealing with people anymore. So like I said, there is no judgment. Don't have any judgment for you wanting to fix people. Like, it's a really beautiful thing, but we need to recognize our standards. So say, for example, you're in a relationship with somebody and you're just completely head over heels in love with them, and then things start to come up and you're like, oh, that's not really what I was signing up for. That's not really what I was looking for. You just need to know your standards and step away from it at that point, because what's happening is you end up compromising, and you end up, stepping into something, or getting engrossed in something which isn't in alignment to you. And then that's when you start to fix. Well, if you did this and you did that, you might be the person that I want to be with. No, people will never change. They might change short term, but they won't change. So you need to recognize what you are prepared to do, what you're prepared to live with. And this is why I bang on constantly about having standards. Yes, Claire, you're absolutely right. You end up losing yourself to something, whether it's your child. And I get this all the time. Every single year, Self Love Club membership kicks off. It's like, oh my God, I don't know who I am anymore other than mum. It's so fascinating. So I truly believe that we are all living in a life whereby we are calling in messengers constantly. So anybody that comes into your life, you have called them in for a reason. You have called them in either to learn a lesson, or to create boundaries, or to love them, or whatever. And I believe that everybody and everything serves a purpose in your life. Now, if you start finding yourself fixing your partner, or fixing your child, or fixing the lady down the road, or fixing your boss, you need to be recognizing that you are stepping into a space of projection. First and foremost, you're trying to control a situation. So you just need to be saying, right, why am I trying to control this situation? And more often than not, it's because we don't believe that they're happy. Because if we were doing that, we wouldn't be happy. You know, like I remember when I was back in corporate, drinking every day, going out for wine after every day in the office. Like I genuinely believed that I was happy because I was. But now I look back and I see the sadness, I see the pain, I see the sabotage that I was just covering up alcohol with. And of course I had fun. Like I'm an outgoing girl. I loved having a drink. I loved having a dance. I loved having a good old flirt with the men. You know, I loved getting that attention. I loved getting my needs met. But really, all I wanted was somebody to say, "Hey, little Lucy, like I love you. Let me give you a cuddle. Let me keep you safe." And when we break it down on this level, we realize it's all a projection of how our emotional trauma is showing up in our life. You don't have to stay in a situation that doesn't serve you. You don't have to stay somewhere because what will happen to them if I leave them? Or what will happen if, and it's often with mothers and children with this. And I'm not talking little children, I'm talking, slightly older children. It's so important that we recognize it. The only way you are going to receive what you are asking for is by knowing what that is. I tend to hurt people sometimes, Joy, so I apologize for that being a little bit of a stinger. If you know that you want to have somebody in your life that is emotionally available, when somebody isn't emotionally available with you on a few occasions, you've got to decide, am I happy to live with this and continue the rest of my life like this, or do we want to walk away? Is so important, ladies and gents. And I appreciate this is a difficult subject because we're all a bunch of bloody fixers. I am a healer. Like I am a healer. I can help people heal all sorts of things. And that's me being a fixer. But what I will not do, I will not ignore my stuff and distract with other people's stuff. Like I'm not saying, oh yeah, let me heal you, let me heal you, let me do this, let me do that, let me send you this, let me send you that. Like come to mama. I'm working on me first and foremost. And then by default of me having my cup full and actually knowing where I am with my trauma, it's only at that point that I will help other people. There is a reason that I haven't done another healing event since the 18th of April. The 18th of April was the day that I actually started passing the baby. So you guys can imagine it's wild. It's wild. I was doing a womb healing and I was going through the purging of the baby. Wild. Look at how the universe aligns everything and brings it all into alignment. Just because you are going through something treacherous with someone right now doesn't mean that they're not playing the part that they needed to play. Okay? I hope this has made sense. I hope this has been useful. It's been great to see some old names back up on here. There's some names that I haven't seen in a really, really, really long time. So thank you for returning and thank you for coming back. And, it's very difficult when your partner's got an alcohol issue, babe. Like it really is. Remember, remind him of the things that he was here for. You just keep reminding him you know Absolutely, Joy. So Joy has just put, your words are truth, Lucy. I can't believe my daughter could stay in a relationship because if it was me, I couldn't, but maybe she is happy. It's not about me. Bingo. You have got the memo. I've actually got goosebumps on my arms from reading that. So bingo, you've got the memo. Like, I wouldn't put up with a lot of things in a relationship. I wouldn't put up with certain behaviors, but other people would. And that's not me. That's not my place to judge them. It's so important that we recognize we're all very different. We all want very different things in our life. I want peace. I want love. I want harmony. I do not like drama in the freaking slightest. It repels me because I used to be drama, lots of plates spinning, buzzing from here, there, and everywhere. Got to be here, got to be there, got to be with this person, got to do that. I do not like that. Full stop. I don't like it. I love you guys. and I will be back with you live next Monday. To those of you coming to Conscious Conversations this evening, I'll see you in an hour. I'm going to go and have some water, maybe even have a cup of tea, and I will be back with you then. I love you guys to the moon and stars. You take care, keep safe, and I will see you super, super soon. Mwah. Love you guys. Take care.